Okay, so yesterday we talked about how we want to minimize using non-renewable energy by not using electricity that comes from coal or comes from nuclear energy. And a big reason is because we're running out. Another big reason is it's either dangerous or it creates a lot of pollution, which creates global warming. You are going to take these notes in your packet on page 3. So the first type of fossil fuel we have is a solid, coal, which is essentially just a bunch of carbon, which is an element. So when we burn this carbon, it creates carbon dioxide gas, which is not good. You're just going to write the stuff in the red. Coal is mined from underground and used in power plants to generate or make electricity. So this miner has this job of getting the coal from underneath the ground and putting it into a power plant, which then will turn into electricity. The good thing is coal isn't that deep under the earth, so it's easy to get. It's cheap or inexpensive. It gives us 50% of our energy right now, which is a lot of our energy. Some bad things, it pollutes when we burn it. This smokestack right here is all the pollution when we turn coal into electricity. It's also dangerous to the miner. This guy doesn't look too happy. He has to spend all day underground, and a lot of people die doing this. Finally, just like we talked about yesterday, if we're digging into the ground, we're destroying some of our environment. The next fossil fuel is the liquid version, which is oil or petroleum, which is deep under the ground. You guys have probably seen rigs like this out on the coast. This is just drilling straight down into the earth, usually in the ocean, to get that oil back up so we can use it. So petroleum or oil is drilled from the oceans and ground, and we turn the oil into gasoline. Oil is really thick. Gasoline is kind of clear and brown. We need to change it so our cars can use it. The good thing about oil and why we use it is it's really powerful. Most of our technology depends on oil. So we think about our cars, we think about a lot of factories. We need that oil to make sure that we're running smoothly until we figure something else out. Some negative things. It's dangerous. It pollutes. Gas prices are increasing because of oil prices. And we're going to run out of this stuff in 50 years. This was actually on the coast of Louisiana, the Deepwater Horizon spill. This exploded and oil seeped into the oceans, which was terrible for all the wildlife and also for our wetlands on the coast. So oil is found a lot in Louisiana, but it also creates some problems. Our last one, we already did solid, which was coal, liquid, which was oil, and now we have natural gas. Some of you guys might have this meter outside your house if you use gas to either heat your water or for your stoves. Natural gas is a gas found in pockets of rock. It is used for heating our houses and then used in stoves and ovens. A good thing is it's a little more cleaner when it burns, so a little bit less pollution, but not that clean. Some negative impacts, it's explosive. Sometimes it's hard to know if there's a leak, so this is actually an explosion from a gas leak, a natural gas leak, and it's not as easy to get as coal or oil. Coal is the easiest to get. The last type of non-renewable energy is not a fossil fuel. So we talked about coal, oil, and natural gas. The last one is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is when we split a nucleus of uranium. That energy creates heat, which creates steam. As the steam comes up, it spins this turbine. Just like we did in class, when the turbine spins, the magnet in the generator spins and generates or makes electricity. So again, something burns, that turns into moving energy through steam. The steam moves the turbine spins the magnet, which generates or makes electricity. Nuclear energy is the nucleus, and it's of uranium, which is an element. This is found deep underground, which is why it's non-renewable. We can't just create more of it, and we pull that nucleus apart. Some good things about nuclear energy: it doesn't pollute as much, less global warming. It's also really, really powerful. It provides us with 8.5% of our energy. And this is uranium. We split apart the nucleus and we create all of this energy once that's done. That's only done in power plants and in atomic bombs. So nuclear energy is rarely something that humans encounter. Some cons: it's radioactive, meaning there are things that kind of mess with living organisms because of the radiation that's coming from nuclear energy. If there is a big nuclear accident, it can harm millions of people. Think about World War II. So it has to be really carefully stored away from people when we're done using it. And we probably won't run out, but this is still a non-renewable energy because once we split the atom, we're not going to be able to use it again. The last thing we want to talk about, you're going to add these notes to the bottom of page 3, is carbon emissions and the greenhouse effect. You don't have to write this down yet, but the sun, we know, gives us our light, which gives us heat. There is a layer of gas that traps that light and heat in. For the most part, that's good. But as we keep emitting more carbon dioxide, that layer becomes thicker and it becomes hard for sun to get out. So the heat gets trapped in here and we're actually experiencing warming. Our Earth is getting hotter over time, which is part of the reasons we've had more floods, more hurricanes, and just kind of wacky winters and wacky summers. You're going to add this to the bottom of page 3. So make sure you save yourself some space. This is it. Carbon emissions is our pollution from burning fossil fuels. Fossil fuels contain carbon. This causes a greenhouse that warms up the Earth. So again, all of this pollution, this fog, this smoke creates a greenhouse or almost like a big tent that captures all the warmth in, which isn't that great because we don't want the climate to get any warmer. Okay, remember your job as always is to pass today's Prove It. Your MLQ is tomorrow, so please make sure you're on point during whiteboard practice so we can pass our Prove It and pass the first quiz of the quarter. Signing off. Where are we? Stop.